The rural Seattle territory was, and still is, loaded with 5 to 10-year-old Honda Civics, and it has a feeling that it's been that way until the end of time. A consistent supply of solid, reasonable, effective, and maybe even appealing utilized autos nourished a genuine tuner group with its own particular style. Disregard the Hollywood glitz shake of the quick and furious establishment. The Seattle look was low and perfect, differing between utilitarian taking care of upgrades and something that would later develop into the position development. Also, much the same as the 2018 Honda Fit I drove for 7 days, there was a basic goodness to them that rose above their economy auto bones. Obviously, from the 4th Age Auto in 1987 up until the 7th Age Autos in 2001, all Civics had in a general sense great suspension plan. It was a place that Honda spent some additional cash, instead of essentially fit McPherson swaggers and turn in until tomorrow. Not exclusively did that mean there was great geometry to begin with, there was space for the resellers' exchange to enhance things essentially without having to re-engineer the N-arms. The move linkages were additionally stellar, utilizing a couple of poles rather than the less expensive link arrangement, something that wouldn't last, despite the fact that Honda still figures out how to influence link shifters to feel entirely great. In any case, the fact of the matter is, Civics were shabby economy autos that figured out how to be a hoot to drive. And an extraordinary beginning stage for assembles, FWD drag autos, corner carvers, or pummeled cruisers. The Civic, more than some other auto around here, made it conceivable to have a ton of good times for not a great deal of cash. Which conveys us to the Fit, which given the size increment of the Civic is presumably the nearest simple to the pre-2001 Civics in the lineup. Indeed, a great deal has changed. There's no pole-impelled move linkage, and it has McPherson swaggers in advance with a bend-shaft semi-autonomous backside. That cash spared is connected to things the driver can value constantly, as comfortable seats and a touchscreen infotainment framework that would have dropped jaws in an Acura in 1998, and additionally costly things under the skin, as airbags, a considerably beefier crash structure, and the 1.5-liter Earth Dreams motor. A note about that. While some high-trim forms of the Civic got tech, like the D16 SockTech and X-Trims, or the productivity-arranged techie framework in the HX and 6th era Civics, the Earth Dreams motor is considerably more unpredictable. Rather than multi-point port infusion, the motor uses coordinate infusion. More to the point, the valve train is considerably more intricate. It's stock, for one, and uses the most recent adaptation of IVTech, which incorporates persistently factor cam staging on both the ignition and fumes cams, and furthermore factor consumption lift. These frameworks are costly, as are tuning them to meet contemporary discharges and productivity measures. Then again, the 130 pull, at 6,600 RPM, and 114 pound-feet of torque, at 4,600 RPM, the Fit makes best the 1996 Civic X's once praiseworthy figures by a reasonable edge. That auto made 127 horsepower, 6,600 RPM, and a measly 107 pounds-to-foot, 5,500 RPM, and that pinnacle torque came 900 RPM later than the Fit's. A 6th era Roadster weighed only 2,342 pounds, while the Fit is considerably heavier, 2,522 pounds. Those additional pounds can be clarified by the much more thorough security hardware prerequisites. Get profound into the mood and you can overlook the blemishes, since this isn't a mid-1990s Civic resurrected all things considered. The electric controlling rack has been enhanced from a year ago's plan with a heading correction, yet it's as yet an inert thing that doesn't disclose to you much about what the front end is doing. What's more, the stock suspension permits sensible street holding, however, without the certainty of more seasoned or better Hondas. Street blemishes make the Fit contribute in buck unforeseen ways, in spite of the fact that it doesn't appear to lessen hold much. The activity is proceed, overlooking the perplexing body movements and numb guiding, since they don't influence advance all that much. In case you're a Fit proprietor keen on slaloming here and there the gorge, there's a semi-reseller's exchange arrangement, HFP springs and dampers. My auto wasn't so fitted, however we drove a HFP altered Fit not long ago, and it nails the progression that made old Civics so charming. Be that as it may, even the dead stock Fit Sport I drove, with its weight and dynamic quirks, has more vintage Honda character than anything equivalent, also bundling productivity and payload conveying capacities that are close supernatural. The little points of interest, similar to the cup holder to one side of the guiding wheel, ooze a unique appeal, as well. In a market invaded with hybrids that convey less with far less appeal, the fit helps me again to remember every one of the reasons individuals experienced passionate feelings for Hondas in any case.